Your network is your net worth. Your network is your net worth. If you get to know a number of people who are quality friends, not quantity, quality friends, and you are mentored, you'll grow. What am I saying? If you are disciplined in money and you are prepared to learn, people will support you. If you have a good friend, he can start you with a little money. I've got a friend of mine who his father is an Indian, gave him $10,000 to start the business, but said you must pay it back with interest. He's now a millionaire with his father's money of $10,000. If you have the means and capacity and you work with people progressively, there is a way you can be able to build the capital, progress with it, and develop. Nobody is born to be poor. No. I grew up from a very poor family. I would even spend 3 days without food. I used to sell mandazi. I used to sell chapati in the bus park in Soroti. But one time I went back home. I was hungry before I went back home. In the afternoon like this, I ate chapati, mandazi with my friend. We were hungry. When we went back home, my mother, who was a very good teacher, went in and said, counted the chapatis, the sumbusas and the mandazis, and said, here are the balance, where is this money? Being honest, I told her, Mom, we got hungry, we ate some of this. I was given kiboko, never eat your capital, from chapati. That was the beginning from my mother. I don't drink alcohol, I don't smoke, no dirty, and I don't socialize anyhow. I learned from my mother not to eat my capital. Working capital is your father and mother in business. If you undermine your working capital, you are done and cooked. To restart is a problem. So start small, grow progressively, you'll get there. If you go and read the success stories of most of the successful businessmen here in town, it's been a hard one. There's a time I would spend 3 days without food. What does it mean? It is a hard life that grows you. People see me now the way I am, in suits, a nice tie and so on. And they think, oh, these were people who came from heaven or from a special family. I used to walk 12 kilometers from home in Omodoi to Soroti Church of Uganda and back every day. Twice thin, small. But I grew to walk with barefooted, without shoes, in a hot sun. I now know the value of education. I now know the value of friends. I now know the value while selling mandazi and chapati in a sunia with newspapers, which you, with a fork of a bicycle, put and give people in a bus, and they pay you, you put it in an apron. That is how I grew. So now when I left Parliament, I'm like a fish you throw into the water when it's alive. It swims instantly. It was easier for me to adapt into business because I grew up with a business mind. By 1996, when I joined Parliament as a young man, I had 5 aeroplanes on my own. On my own. And how did I do this? I was in the United States, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, training in Acme School of Aeronautics as a pilot. And I used to work in two places. Kiddie shoes, selling shoes, like butter. Then another one was an Italian cafe, selling coffee, ice cream, bread, nice cookies, cakes. When I was coming, I learned those two ideals, selling and how to make ice cream. When I made the money from my savings, which I saved, Africans have a poor saving culture, and young people. what did I do? I sent for a car from Japan, from the savings of my cheyo in a school in the United States. When the car came here, a Toyota Celica, one of the latest that you had. And before I went to the flying schools, drove it for almost a week or two, somebody came to me and said, I want that car. I said, no, I'm not selling. He said, I'll give you any amount you want. I want that car. I said, okay, how much are you giving me? He paid me the money cash at that time. From that car, I bought 4 more cars. From one car, I bought 4 more cars. I did not buy a suit or buy shoes, reinvested it. From that, the 4 cars, I brought them here. I said, we can make money actually. And sold these 4 cars and bought 16 cars. And that's how I started the business of cars and made money. Then from that money, I put part of the 1 or 2 cars that I was selling and making money from. And I went into Bimbo Ice Cream, set up a nice restaurant. They were at lunch in Fort Worth, in Dallas, Fort Worth area. I knew how to make ice cream, cakes, bread, nice place, did an interior. And you know, before you knew, I was making huge profits in Bimbo Ice Cream in the Winton Road. It became the most popular place, like you see Java's now. I made a lot of money. Omar Mandela, the owner of City Oil, and we started business together. He learned from how we used to come there every day because I was a teetotaler. This is where people would assemble. So that's how I grew. And I made my money. Before I knew, I partnered with the Chinese to make a Chinese restaurant called China Palace. I opened up a tours and travel. Opened up Speedbird air charters. I bought my first aircraft, salvage, a Cessna 172, and grew to a Cessna 402. I had 5 aircraft by the time I joined Parliament. I had Bimbo Ice Cream. I had an air charter company. I had tours and travel. I had shares in Biplos in Kampala Road, and started Reham Industries. I grew because of reinvestment. And also taught others. Patrick Peter worked with me, my friend now, the successful businessman. You can see that we grew up together. He's now very successful. I deferred into business, into politics. That's why I got myself into politics. But by the time I went to politics, I had Voice of Teso by 1999. I had Soroti Hotel, and so on and so forth. What am I saying? You can now see that one of my first investments, Voice of Teso, this year, December the 9th, I will be celebrating 25 years of existence. How many radios have made 25 years? That tells you I can nurture and hold business for a long time. I am not an amateur. I have the experience and the patience to nurture, grow, and build business.